Welcome, everybody, to episode 191 of the Bombshell podcast. I'm your host, dkdynamite, with our co-host, Fajardi, back in Canada. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm still I'm not really sick anymore, but I'm still just feeling the after effects. Still a little congested, but feeling fine. But when I talk a lot, that kind of like loosens it up. It kind of makes it hard to speak at times. So hopefully it's not gonna be too bad. It shouldn't, but either way, this is our first normal podcast in like a long time, a
Oh, yeah,
very, very long time.
absolutely.
Hmm.
It's been a little while. Our last episode was a very special one in-house here. I know it was like absolutely fuming because of all the body heat, but we had three in-house guests. We had you, we had zombie YouTuber MZC, a good buddy of ours, Sniper, who works with Detonated. So it was certainly an episode for the books. But since then, I mean, so much has changed, folks. So much has changed. I mean, I had another baby last week. That was something. And then, in the midst of all that, we also had the release of the Black Ops ports. Season 5 got marketed, which we'll talk a little bit about that today. And then, most importantly, new Modern Warfare 4 gameplay live from New York City has also gone live. So quite a bit is going on in the Call of Duty scene right now. And I think it goes without saying, like, this is definitely... Call of Duty is absolutely one of the busiest franchises, I think, around right now. What would you say about that? That's what it feels like, at least.
Yeah, there's not many other games where, the current one is getting updates while the next one is being, marketed. So there's usually always this time within a cycle of a game where there's so much going on. I mean, you hope in the game that's currently out, and then there's a lot of information coming out about the next one. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened this year. It definitely didn't happen last year, but right now there's so much to talk about. There's so much upcoming, and I feel like we haven't even really seen a taste of what Modern Warfare 4 has to offer, considering this small alpha experience that players are live streaming and creators are live streaming. Doesn't really show too much, but we're gonna break down our thoughts and everything
Yep.
as well.
So right now in the background chat, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see Skyrose, a streamer in, I believe, France. I hope I got that right. I believe a French streamer. He's live on Twitch. He's in New York City at Fanatics Fest. He'll be playing the Kill Block Alpha for the next like 2 hours or whatnot. And other creators are meant to go live later today as well. I know Jay Broski, he'll be live. I think I saw a post somewhere about I think Sean J and Swifter will be live this weekend. And to clarify, for those that are new to the stream or new to this whole situation with Fanatics Fest, I think I was under the impression, at least, past couple of weeks, that there wouldn't really be any streams or any recording. I mean, the general public can go up right now to any of the Logitech stations and play the Kill Block Alpha. That's all we really knew about for the longest time. And then all of a sudden, it was revealed that select people were flown out to go ahead and stream this live. Pretty cool. But hey, you know what? I'm thinking about the fact that there's just about, I think, no more than 2 creators streaming at a time. And still the schedule is like all over the place with trying to keep track of who's live where and what time. And then, you have COD Next with 200 plus people. And, even that wasn't perfect, right? And no event will be perfect. But this has been a pretty tough event to actually follow. As far as like who's doing what.
Yeah.
If you want to say anything about that, because I just went live yesterday. I know you were also just kind of, we're just sitting around waiting to see what happens and kind of winging it from there.
Yeah,
Very unexpected.
it also comes down to what the actual streamers are showing, right? And that's why I saw this streamer. I didn't know who he was until this Skyrose, until this event. I didn't really know who he was. Big streamer, very cool, but a lot of people were. I put a clip up of gunfight of the kill block mode, and people were like, "Oh, this guy's trash. This guy's trash." And funny enough, this is the only streamer that is honestly like showing inspect animations and like doing a lot of like that sort of stuff. That's what I personally like. I see even now on the current gameplay, like he's already played this all yesterday and he's still inspecting guns. He's still like, "Oh, look at this." And he's not a bad player. I wouldn't necessarily say that. But then obviously there are some people playing that are like, okay, they're always YY spamming. They're always, super try hard and like, okay, you expect that, it's whatever, but I kind of like how there's some people that are taking taking more time to appreciate the smaller things, which I believe Sophie Snaz also did.
Yep.
Also as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a brand new game. Obviously, they're not on their own setup. They got to take some time to adjust, like anyone would on Earth, on planet Earth.
Exactly.
But I saw this creator getting specifically a lot of hate about like being trash or whatever. It's like, okay, how about you go on a setup on a brand new game you've never played before, not at home, in front of people. There might be even some pressure there. Who knows?
Oh, for
To
sure.
put on a certain performance and on a brand new game, like it's gonna take some time. So um, I've been chilling so far watching it. It's been fun. Definitely an interesting like rollout of gameplay. I think this is the
Right.
earliest we've ever seen like pure gameplay like this, like for a Call of Duty ever,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
I think Modern Warfare 19, I got to look up when that gunfight stream was. I think it was Courage, might have been Dr. Disrespect, could have been a couple of others. They were like in a, I sort of like a shipping container, and I'm exaggerating this. I forgot where they were streaming from, but it was a really cool like mini space. And they were streaming the gunfight alpha for MW19. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that happened after the initial multiplayer reveal trailer, the full showcase. So they then went live with Gunfight. The Gunfight Alpha then dropped just on PlayStation that very same weekend, I believe. So this is kind of what that was, where they're like, hey, here's a limited taste of just one mode. In this case, not just gunfight, but it's kill block showing, 10v10 gunfight, 1v1, 3v3 with these interchanging arenas. And you guys know how kill block works, I'm sure. We've talked about it for a while. But the difference with this is that, yeah, the general public could technically go play this if they're in New York City, but it's not going to be an alpha that releases for everybody else digitally, this weekend. And on top of that, it's also a case of this happening before the full MP reveal. I tweeted this out yesterday on my personal account. I was like, hey, I feel like as cool as kill block and gunfight are for this game too, because I mean, you could also see the tech innovation, the new movement, the new weapons. I still don't think this is your best first look at a multiplayer, at least not anymore in this day and age, especially with how polarizing the Call of Duty discussion is these days. I mean, I feel like big map, 6v6, overpowered kill streaks, that stuff I think is a better first look, especially for the people that were already on the fence or skeptical about Modern Warfare 4. I don't feel like this would win somebody over if they were already like, this might be a MW19 or MW2 sequel and not like a fresh experience. How do you feel about that, though? Like, I feel like Kill Block, yeah, you could have still had the demo in New York City, but like maybe they shouldn't have had people stream it, maybe not until like a full MP reveal. Kind of mixed on that
It's
one.
Yeah, I'm more so mixed on one. It's extremely confusing and it's posted nowhere when streamers are actually going live, aside from their designated channels and pages. Which obviously, if you're watching those avenues, you would know. But I think for a large majority of people, there's just gameplay streams popping up, and then people don't really know where to go next or who to watch.
Yeah.
There's been massive delays on certain things, like 40-minute delays where there's no streams.
Yeah.
That's been very confusing. And if you're being honest, like, I'm watching this gameplay, and I just think it's just gunfight.
Right.
It's there's not really much to it. And after the first day, I don't really see how streaming it for another 3 days after that will do anything different than just having one day of it. I don't know. That's in my personal opinion. It's like, okay, you kind of seen everything.
Yeah, you've seen it. Yeah, yeah. No,
Like you kind of seen everything within maybe the first couple games, and obviously it's kill block and there's 500 combinations, but
which I don't think we've seen that many combos. I sort of seen the same arenas like constantly, maybe like a winter variant, the snowy variant of Crash. I don't think we've seen
yeah,
Shipment. I think we've constantly seen High Rise. We've seen some Shoot House, I believe, definitely some Kill House and some original spaces.
my thing about it is that like there's so many combinations, but I feel like I've watched the same game
Yeah. Yeah.
happen multiple times.
Right.
I feel like I always see Hospital. I was always seeing what's the other one? Ambush. I was seeing that a lot. This is actually the first time I've seen High Res currently on this gameplay. So maybe they're live.
Okay.
So maybe they're live updating it.
Could be.
But yeah, who knows about that? Regardless, I just feel like as like a showcase of like, hey, this is like our game. Maybe they should have had maybe a smaller event where people are playing
Ooh.
actual 6v6 and showing that. That was a cool play, right? By
Yeah, right.
Skyrose there, too.
Yeah, I just saw that was a nice clutch. And that's somebody that's
But
somebody random downstairs, by the way. I'm pretty sure. I was under the impression that when streamers go live, they'd be going up against like IW devs, QA, but no, they're actually queuing, which makes
yeah,
more sense
yeah,
with LAN people downstairs. I just wasn't sure if they were going to be like, oh, there's enough people walking up to these booths to like fill the
the booth
lobbies,
is
but there are.
packed.
Yeah. I underestimated that completely.
But either way, like I forgot what I was saying.
It's your first time seeing high rise.
Yeah, it's first time seeing high rise, and it's kind of like you kind of see everything pretty early on. But I think it would be a much better showcase if they did maybe like some small sort of capture event with 6v6 gameplay, because that is kind of what the main game is. And I've
Yeah.
seen comments from people on my post being like, is there 6v6 in this game? This is all they've ever talked about. Is this kill block mode? So that is how like detrimental the obviously that's a very, very rare case, but still there's people thinking it. Some people are confused if there's genuinely no 6v6 in this game, because this is all they've talked about and showed multiplayer wise. And even then, I feel like no kill streaks or score streaks, whatever you want to say, no streaks. I don't know. I feel like, and you can see the general reception. A lot of people are like, "Hey, it's like MW2 again." The muzzle flash, and obviously Infinity Ward have come out and said that was a bug and have tweaked things. But
Right.
I feel like this hasn't been as great as Infinity Ward would have hoped reception wise to gameplay getting out there.
It's
I feel like it's been 50-50 controversial at the most.
It just seems like Modern Warfare 4 marketing so far has been a little strange. And maybe that's because like they haven't announced the COD Next. We don't know what's happening with that. I mean, this is championship weekend, right, for CDL. So I'm betting, this Sunday during the finals, there'll be beta codes given away. That'll be a good opportunity to be like, by the way, or at the end of even this Fanatics Fest event, which I also got to say, like, I think it's crazy that these events happen on the same weekend. Not that it makes too much of a difference for too many folks out there, but it's just funny looking at like, it was just about, I was looking at my MW4 playlist on YouTube, just about a month of silence as far as information goes on this game. And then the other day, right, it's like, okay, we ended up getting a kill block intel blog, cool, and there was like a small like 20-second trailer. And then the same day, which not complaining, right, we'll stay busy, we live for that stuff, but the same day, a full From the Ward episode, which I did not expect, because they just said like I think a week ago or two that they were producing new episodes. Good. They dropped a new episode that had a lot more gameplay. It was like a bigger reveal than the kill block intel. Yeah. And then this weekend's been just kind of all over the place with these announcements here. But I feel like marketing's been a little odd, where they're like, hey, here's your first bit of DMZ info, but by the way, that's not the full reveal. And then with multiplayer, they're like not really talking about when the full reveal is, but they're like, here's kill block, go play it in New York. We're like, whoa, that's different. So yeah, change is cool, change is nice. I mean, you can't really complain about that. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's valid criticism out there for how the game looks. I will say this real quick, because I find this really funny. There's a lot of people, especially, there's obviously a lot of folks with, big followings or even creators that didn't attend the event at Infinity Ward. There's a lot of people that were speaking from a perspective that you would think it's because they've played it. But a lot of folks were like, oh, dude, this is just Modern Warfare 2. The visual clutter's insane. It's literally nothing new. And I'm like, hold on a second. You haven't played. You're speaking almost from a standpoint as if you played. It's spreading the wrong impression of the game already to a lot of people that were maybe on the fence. And then once, at least what I've seen is once the kill block gameplay started coming out, and once more clips from the Ward episodes came out, you started seeing people say, "Wait a second, this is looking pretty fluid and pretty fast. Arguably the fastest IWMP. Definitely reminiscing on Modern Warfare 3 a bit more as far as movement. I think gunplay, the snappiness, even like some of the mechanics." Are a bit more from like MW19. I see very little of Modern Warfare 2, and I felt very little of Modern Warfare 2 when I played it. And that's what people have been saying since the play session 2 months ago. So it's funny now people are like, okay, I'm kind of seeing MW3. I'm seeing how it's actually fast, because it is a very different Modern Warfare. It's very fluid, but it's kind of like all of Infinity Ward's recent titles had a baby, but in the best possible way. Like I just don't feel or see Modern Warfare 2 that much. Were there some visual inconsistencies yesterday during the session? Yeah, but it is an alpha, and Infinity Ward already acknowledged it. But I think it just goes without saying, like, not only should you watch more first-person gameplay, which is coming out this weekend, but also give the beta a try before you really go out and judge everything and say that, say one thing is what is is like MW2 and it's not. I just think people were really misinformed on that. So I'm glad that at least there is some clarity on that. But yeah, people are still going to be divided, and it's because, like you were saying, gunfight is gunfight. It's as simple as it gets. I don't think it's the best first showcase of your game, at least not in this day and age. Especially as we'll get to later, aren't we in a really odd time right now where there's just about a Call of Duty for everybody? You have a very fast paced, which MW4 is fast paced, but you have a really fast paced, advanced Call of Duty like Black Ops 7 with wall jumps. That game's getting support. You have the Black Ops ports bringing you back to the old days of 2010, 2012, very different from new CODs. And then you have Modern Warfare 4, kind of like bringing things back to the Infinity Ward style, pretty nitty gritty, milsim focused, and really rooted in realism. And something I said, excuse my tangent here, but something I said was also like MW4 embraces the realism like you would expect, but Infinity Ward remembered that this is still a game. And that's something that you couldn't really say for MW2 multiplayer in some aspects. So that's something. But we're in an era where there's kind of, like, at least right now this summer, where there's like a COD for everybody. So what do you think as far as like, as far as I saw a tweet, I think it was Ghost of Hope and some other people were saying, and I missed this, Killblock will support 6v6 respawn modes, which I know I heard that a few months ago, but it's not coming at launch. That's a pretty interesting report. So, like I said, for the people that are like really not into gunfight, like, is this Killblock showcase doing much for those people? I wouldn't say so. What are you thinking?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of people kind of going into it being like, trying to get their viral tweets, being like, oh, this is trash, this is trash. And I just feel like it's like people are saying, oh, it's MW 2019, it's MW 2019. That's kind of, isn't that what Twitter wanted? I'm confused. Wasn't there just a few months ago there's like this big retrospective wave of people being like, oh my god, Modern Warfare 2019 was the best Call of Duty to ever exist, ever. And I just think, like, and now all of a sudden we're getting a COD that looks like it again, and people are like, oh, but it just looks like this, it just looks like that. It's very confusing to me. You're never going to win over people. And I saw someone say that, like, oh, like, it's like the more they show, like, the worse it gets. And I'm like, I think
What
we
does
need
that
to
mean?
hold. I think we need to hold a little bit there. Because, like I said, we haven't seen 6v6, haven't even seen, campaign set pieces or missions like that. Haven't even touched at, like, really anything to do with DMZ, honestly. The reveals that they did do, we've talked about this before, just like blog posts and words, people won't click all that information together until it gets shown in action.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's a common theme where you had the initial reveal on May 28th. People liked it. People liked what they heard, but there was nothing really to connect it to, and it's been slowly sort of bleeding through the from the ward episodes, small gameplay tidbits here and there about movement and weapons and animations. Um, and then the gunfight comes out, and it's like it's so much less than what was being explained. So that's probably where some of the discrepancy is happening with people as well, because they're like, you know, we're bringing back perk system and this and that, and then people's first look at the actual MP gameplay has none of it.
Yeah, you can't see any of it. Right. Right.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe there should have been at least a from the ward episode or a COD pod explaining that this is kind of what we're going to show first, being kill block, and then we'll move into this and that. But who knows? I'm not a marketing expert. Who cares?
What do we know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
that's just my personal opinion. How I kind of feel like there's been a lot of just explanation, and now there needs to be visual. and I
Yeah.
don't think we've got it visually yet. Especially for DMZ and even on the multiplayer side, like this is like a super fraction of the mode, and obviously it's an alpha, right? We're not expecting them to showcase the full game, but like I said before, just like maybe a smaller sort of event to showcase more of the NP stuff. Um, and then you do kill block its own separate thing like this. Like I think this is it's a fine event. It's just slotted in a weird spot.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think it definitely is slotted in a little bit of an awkward spot. Like it's just, ah, man, it's kind of strange too because with the way that the event in New York was handled, like again, it was very unclear how this is going to work to begin with. I'm under the impression that like if you wanted to attend as a creator, you probably could have asked for a booth to stream. But I think there were people that were actually like fully invited, and with covered commute, and then they can actually stream multiple days. Something I was thinking though, I'm like, wait a second. I think a flaw with the fact that like nothing different is being shown on any of the different days. Like maybe they could have announced like, okay, different arenas are playable Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's spice it up a little bit. I don't know, but it's kind of weird because like if you weren't streaming this today, or I'm sorry, if you weren't streaming this yesterday, like I think you said this earlier, you've already seen everything. So like even the people that are there streaming it, like I think you've already gotten the big picture. So obviously, Tim or anybody big that's going to go live, like, they have their audiences, they'll come and watch whatever. But like, if you're like a smaller streamer, like I feel like it's harder to pull in people that have already seen the same map, same weapons, same everything 3-4 days prior. So it's a bit of an odd setup. I actually thought when I heard there was going to be streams, I thought they were going to have like a COD Next type setup where like everybody is live on the same day for like that one day or whatever. And then just leave it open to the general public the rest of the weekend. But that was a little odd. I also saw a post earlier this morning that they actually are filming a COD pod right now in New York. I think people can actually hear them recording it because I'm seeing some scoops out there, and the Elgato keeps going out. That's crazy. You saw, yeah. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
That sucks. He still got the kill. I saw a few posts that people are able to hear the COD pod being filmed, and I think something was mentioned like, oh, these are our IW's favorite maps, and this, and that. That's another thing. It's like, I think the COD pod, the last few episodes, I don't know, again, not an expert, don't work in their marketing department, but it's kind of strange that they're kind of focusing on things to discuss after they've kind of already been revealed. Like that COD pod about Kill Block should have probably come out like before Fanatics Fest earlier this week. If it's just about that. But I'm also crossing my fingers that the new COD pod, whenever it drops, probably next week, will answer some more about every other aspect of the game that people are still wondering about. Still a big question to answer. Like, is there a COD Next? Which I'm getting more and more doubtful about that. I mean, there's a Polaris event in New York right now. They usually do that at COD Next. Cold Bowl happened, what was it, last month already? So they've already done all of the activities that a COD Next
would have. Done the Next. So it's interesting. I mean, considering how Black Ops 7's performed last year, I'd be surprised. Or I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they just canned the whole thing, honestly.
It was Crater's fault that Black Ops 7 didn't sell. I don't know.
I'm just talking
shit.
Yeah, yeah, maybe who knows what sort of repercussions that had with, that whole Dalek thing.
To see that shouldn't have. I'm sorry, that should not have. Can't also.
Well, I agree, but it's just like you think in Activision shoes, like just like limit any sort of possibility of anything. Right.
Sure.
And if that happened and it already kind of didn't do well compared to previous years, like they kind of just did that. There's like this big controversy for no reason. Finishing move there.
I just saw. Yeah. I think Stylers did one yesterday, or was it Sophie? One of them did one yesterday too. It's pretty cool to see these. I don't think any of us at the play test were able to do these. I don't think they were live on that build that we played. I could be wrong. I don't think anybody got an opportunity, to be honest. We were sweating so hard. But yeah, I think this could be the end of COD Next. Because like I'm seeing like all the pieces of a COD Next. You had the Code Bowl, you got Polaris, you got like the IRL.
That already happened.
Yeah. Like all, but it's scattered, but it's already happened in a much different way. But again, Fanatics Fest is its own event, and Call of Duty has a booth at that event. It's not like a dedicated Call of Duty venue or anything like that. So still different from how Next has been ran. But I think it's sad because the whole Korean theme, the logo, the aura, like Modern Warfare 4 could really, I don't know what they're doing. What are they doing here? What was that? I'm looking at this footage. I'm
I
like, what
think
is
they're
going on
both celebrities, by the way. I think they're both celebrities.
here?
I'm not sure that are playing, but
I'm seeing 1v1 here. Yeah, like I feel like they've
but
MW4 had potential for a next. Is what I was trying to say. I think it's
well,
unfortunate that
I
we
just
might not
think
get that.
let's think about in this context. Let's say there is a next. You're gonna do just MP. You're gonna do just like what are you gonna do? They've already had 4 full days of live stream coverage of Kill Block. Um,
So that wouldn't be
and
playable.
obviously,
Yeah.
yeah. So you wouldn't showcase that again. That would be out of the equation. So you would kind of just do what 5-6 hours of MP. Like you have to throw in DMZ if you're doing that at that point, because who knows what's going on with Warzone. That's the biggest question mark uh, in Call of Duty right now. What is going to happen with Warzone with the Modern Warfare 4? So who knows if that's even included? And I think like all the super cool tech stuff for MP is just like I think it's just gonna be so much better in DMZ. Like I don't really care for a lot of this tech stuff in the MP. I'm more so excited about it inside of DMZ. Um, so that's also kind of like a personal opinion of mine where they're explaining all this stuff for MP, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want to see it in like the super immersive mode as in DMZ. Um, so maybe they do that. Maybe they show if they do a next. Maybe they showcase. Who knows at this point? But I think it'll be crazy to do a full next event that's just MP at this point. Because what else do you show?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it would have to be DMZ. There's nothing else. I mean, obviously, Warzone's been playable at every COD Next previously, but to go back to the Dalek thing, I saw some comments about it in chat. I mean, it's funny because what you're saying right now is that it almost makes sense to do a next when there is like a zombies, when there is that other big mode you can pull. And ironically, both years of Black Ops COD Next 6 and 7, zombies kind of got shafted quite a bit, where like there was a very limited viewing of both Liberty Falls and Ashes. And then when there was supposed to be free time at the end, as we had seen for MW2 and 3, there wasn't any free time. So the zombie creators that were there for zombies weren't able to go show that. So it's just another case of like, managing an event with 200 plus creators all on dual PC setups, dealing with connection drops, dealing with OBS issues, dealing with whatever, let alone game issues and crashes. Like, yeah, it's not an easy thing. So I could imagine they're like, yeah, we did it 4 years in a row. BO7 kind of like just didn't hit. So we're just not doing that this year. We're just going to like disperse whatever would have went into the funding for that and throw it into New York Fanatics Fest. They did the NASCAR track for Cold Bowl. And then obviously you got like big celebrity appearances this weekend too. I'll be streaming this tomorrow, chat, because there's a big thing happening tomorrow with I believe her name's Indy, who played Nikki from Obsession. By the way, I just saw that movie like for the first time a week ago, and I was like blown away by it. You wouldn't think it's a low budget movie. Like it's actually really well written. Really enjoyed that. Kevin Durant's going to be there, and I believe Katie from ESPN will be presenting stuff. So there's like a big celebrity get together this weekend, a part of Call of Duty. So I don't know if they're recording that. Are they going to add that to the COD Pod? Probably. They probably might even interview some of these celebs for the COD Pod. We'll see. But also like is COD going to live stream it? They haven't said anything about it. I don't think they are. They probably would have already scheduled that and talked about it, I'm guessing. So again, kind of weird. I have a buddy going, so we'll be able to get some footage of that special event tomorrow. So I guess while I'm streaming, if I'm being sent things, I'll be able to put it up on stream and we'll see. But we're just kind of winging it as we go and seeing whatever comes out and making the most of it, bringing you guys the best coverage we can. But yeah, it's a very just different kind of summer. Still better than how dry last summer was, where there was genuinely nothing happening for Black Ops 6 or 7. It was very weird. So at least there's stuff happening, but in classic COD fashion, blog posts can be confusing. Marketing gets bunched into like one day instead of spread out across, a week or two. So a lot of stuff going on. But as far as MW4, I think people are going to get the best idea of how the game really works once regular 6v6 becomes available. Because right now, I mean, you're getting some nice inspects, getting some new weapons here and there. But yeah, it's definitely definitely more so along the lines of like what we saw in Modern Warfare 19, when you're just showing gunfight off. Like there's only so many things you can do and show off. We see some physics tests right here. shooting a little. He was shooting like a little jug of water there on the map.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
they're 1v1ing. But yeah, it was unfortunate yesterday because obviously, like, I know Jay Broski had tweeted out. I'll pull it up real quick. He had tweeted out the schedule for the streams, and obviously the schedule was like nowhere near what ended up actually going down here. But if I pull that up, yeah, that's not the right picture. It was this one right here. Like, it had mentioned that these streamers would have 2 hours to go ahead and stream. There would be like a grudge match later in the day. That didn't happen. And then C Preds and T Dog rounded out the day of live stream. So no schedule's been posted yet for the rest of this weekend. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But PPSH, I mean, that's crazy. I would have hoped to see more Apex attachments. That would have been a cool
showcase. I need to get a clip of that. I need to get a clip of this. I want to tweet it out at some point.
This is really nice.
PPSH gameplay.
It's very clean.
How long is this into the stream?
So
I can see here.
Did he start? What I'm guessing he started like 38 minutes ago.
But I won't be able to. No, I won't be able to go back.
You have to sub because he has VODs only or sub only, or VODs or sub only. I think on his Twitch, which is crazy.
God damn it.
Yeah, because like nobody streamed on YouTube apart from I think C Preds and T Dog. Everybody else is on Twitch, which fair enough because Twitch you'll get some better quality, but or some crispier quality resolution wise. But they are. I mean, what's cool is that, when they go live a second day, which that's what they're doing here. They were able to like just kind of mess around and focus on some of the community requests. They're not really sweating for gameplay anymore. So yeah, I'm also under the impression I saw a post earlier. It looks like T Dog. Yeah, he went home after one day. He flew himself out, or I'm sorry, he drove himself out this way. Probably booked his room for the night. I don't think COD covered it, but he I think attended some type of greet with some of the devs. He asked a bunch of questions. I was talking with him. He's gonna post a video, I believe, later tonight. So that should be pretty exciting as far as like little secrets he ended up learning. So I'll end up doing I'll do a recap video for you guys once we learn more information. Infinity Ward's been replying to people. There have been special scoops from the press. So I'm going to go ahead and gather all of that after like all that stuff gets posted this weekend. I'll gather all that, put it in a big video for you guys so you're up to date with what's happening. DMZ is more like Escape from Tarkov and ABI. You take loot out the game to a safe house. Technically, yeah, you do have a safe house of some sort, the forward operating base. But again, there's a lot left to be desired and revealed for DMZ. Skyro's posted a 23-minute vid on YouTube. Yeah, no, there's like some of these guys are posting their VODs, obviously. I don't know if they have raw footage without their face cams, but got to credit these guys. They're the only guys with raw gameplay of the alpha. I mean, hey, am I naive for saying this? I was really hopeful they would just announce out of nowhere, like, hey, by the way, the public could download the alpha today. And you guys got this one weekend to play it. I was thinking maybe there was a chance of that, but then again, I think public alphas only existed because of the PlayStation exclusivity deal a couple years ago. Or did you not think they were going to do one? It didn't leak.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think. I think this would be the perfect thing to do, to just release this as an alpha, to the like just on consoles, but. I guess they just want to do this sort of thing. That's whatever, I guess. I think it would have been cool to have that, but yeah, probably exclusivity thing.
Somebody asked the difference between Warzone and DMZ. So to remind you again, DMZ is an extraction mode that just happened to be free under the Warzone umbrella during Modern Warfare 2. It was not really connected with Warzone at all as far as like, is it a playlist in Warzone? No, it was a completely separate experience, almost like a game within a game. This time around, DMZ is on disc. You got to pay for it. It's like your Zombies, like your Spec Ops inside of Modern Warfare 4, where it's the third mode on disc day one, not free to play and not tied to Warzone Season 1, which I did talk about a little bit in yesterday's video there. But yeah, I think the best plan of action for this weekend, again, who am I to say, but I think it would have been cool if, you had several streamers live Thursday, so yesterday, and then after that broadcast ended, they released the alpha publicly for all platforms throughout the weekend. Done. Then you had people playing it in person. But then again, I guess you could say, oh, will there be much of a pull then for people to go to Fanatics Fest for MW4? But again, there's no tickets for MW4. It's just tickets for Fanatics Fest, so I don't know if it even matters. But something like that could have maybe went down. Could have been a little bit better, but yeah. Also, I think another piece of feedback too was it would have been cool if we had regular 6v6 playable at some point, like maybe for Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, Friday kill block, Saturday, Sunday regular 6v6. Maybe 2-3 maps like what we played at Infinity Ward a couple of months ago. Gives MW19 vibes, definitely. I mean, I think that really is the point. Is they said, how do we build on MW19 and take some of the great innovation Call of Duty has added the last 5 years and then make a game like that. It's not like they took MW2. Okay, let's just build on that foundation. That's really not what this is. Is that this? Oh, is that? I can't see. Is that Mark? No. Let's see. No, it's not. We got some cameos in the background. I believe there's only 2 booths that are the creators are streaming from here, which is crazy.
Yeah, I've just been trying to get
the
he did a
PPSH
finishing move. No, he did a finishing move, and I haven't seen anyone post that. So I've been recording and trying to get that on the back end. But if anyone is subbed to this person, and can get me a clean clip of the round where he had the PPSH, that'd be most appreciated.
Oh hell yeah!
So I missed it.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I saw Tim the Tap Man. He ended up unlocking a military camo for a sniper after getting some headshots. So like, I don't know if that confirms more headshot farming is needed for the camo grind in the new Call of Duty. I don't know if that's what that was confirmed there. I don't know. It could just be placeholder or something they're testing out. Wasn't meant to be live. But let's see what else we have. Oh, I think the Call of Duty just posts like a little recap video on their YouTube channel. Or is it? Oh, is that?
There's like B-roll in it. Super interesting.
Let's see. I'm gonna go pull that up real quick as well. But yeah, we figured today, folks, we didn't want to miss another podcast. Obviously, last Friday I was at the hospital, so I wasn't able to. We weren't going to do an episode then. But okay, the COD channel is co-streaming. Yeah, the co-streaming champs.
COD CM's tweeting out banned. Great. I'm so glad COD CM has just been reduced to just tweeting out people when people get banned. That's awesome.
I thought that's what COD updates was going to be for. I didn't know COD CM would.
That's what COD updates was. So now you have COD live seasons, COD updates, and COD CM.
Yeah.
And they've all done the same thing at some point in time. They just keep creating an account to do another thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's odd.
CM has been has fallen off in terms of the exclusives.
The exclusive.
Just replying to anyone, really. I think
it was March. It was March of last year where COD CM was like on a roll with like revealing shit back to back to back. It was pretty cool. That was short lived.
Well, definitely not last year, but.
No, I meant this past March.
Oh, okay.
This past March.
I misheard.
No, BO7. And yeah, we also have like again another odd reveal is the Aston Martin collab. I'm surprised I haven't seen more pushback on this. I mean, the vehicle looks really cool. Very, very futuristic. I'm surprised nobody's come out and be like, "Oh, dude, this doesn't fit, nitty gritty Modern Warfare." But the Dreadnought vehicle will be in DMZ and Warzone. That'll be. They said launch. Now, I made a video about this last night because this actually fascinated me. What do you think that blog, because again, this could just be classic COD blog wording that doesn't really amount to much. Do you think that wording implied that Warzone's going to integrate with Modern Warfare 4 during the launch window and you don't have to wait 3 to 4 weeks for a first season? Because if you look at a calendar, right, 3 to 4 weeks after the game comes out, GTA 6 is out. Are they going to really drop Season 1 the week of or the week before GTA 6 releases? They could. But maybe this year's different where they're like, hey, we're going to have Warzone ready like a week after launch, if not sooner. But that wording is really interesting. I'm curious your thoughts on that. Because what that would also mean, too, is I'm thinking about, it's like even your Warzone guys that are like intrigued and interested in DMZ this time around, they won't have to wait too long to jump into their mode, Warzone. They might have their mode ready by like a week or two, probably sooner. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, like we said before, that's the biggest question mark of everything to do with Call of Duty at the moment, with Warzone. But with that very weird statement, like you said, where it's like, okay, on launch it'll be usable in Warzone and DMZ. I mean, DMZ makes sense, obviously, but Warzone is where the question mark gets even bigger, because that is technically like our first update confirmed from Infinity Ward about Warzone. So whether that goes with like maybe a patch to current Verdansk and whatever before the integration, because that's when their their partnership starts, and it has to be in every single game mode at this certain day.
With the car, right?
Yeah, so maybe just a patch goes out and it just replaces like the LTV or something inside of Warzone. Who like whatever's their heavy vehicle at the moment. But it's only a 2-seater, so
right.
That's kind of I mean, I guess they just dislike people squatting up. I guess I don't know, but I think a vehicle that big can easily be a four-seater, unless I'm missing something. But
I think it could be. Yeah. If you
yeah,
guys haven't already, feel free to drop a like. It is free to do so. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They could just swap out one of the vehicles in current Warzone and say, "Hey, here's a dreadnought." But again, like Warzone's like the really odd one out here. Um, there's a very limited info on that, but whatever there is that's out there, we talked about that in last night's video. I just think it's really odd to think about, how that's going to go down, because you kind of can't wait, even though like there's no chance GTA Online comes out with the single player. Like there's no chance that happens.
yeah,
But
100%, yeah.
regardless, they're not going to want to. I don't think they're going to want to drop. They're not going to want to drop anything that close to GTA 6.
Um, I see people talking about Battlefield 6 in the chat, and I
Oh
think it's hilarious.
yeah.
I think it's hilarious that today they announced a crossover with Top Gun. Like they're literally adding Miles Teller and the actor that played Bob in Thunderbolts.
Oh, him too?
Sentry.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So they're adding two celebrities as crossover characters, and if you remember, prior to the game releasing, they released like a celebrity trailer where they all get like killed in like 1 second in the trailer, trying to like shit on Call of Duty because Call of Duty had celebrities, um, but then they added celebrities, so I don't that I don't know, but people were defending it, being like, "Oh, it fits because it's Top Gun." But even though in the trailer there were celebrities in normal military attire, and that was like owning Call of Duty, but now that it's in the game, it's fine because they're wearing military gear. I don't know.
Why doesn't Fallout fit Call of Duty then? Especially when
Yeah, I
there's
don't know.
literally a zombies mode. I don't like. I feel like the same people probably defending this were talking shit about Fallout, which is probably one of the best, I think, thematic collabs you could have done for Call of Duty, especially in a Black Ops game with there's zombies. Um, but I mean, more power to them. They're still getting 2 MP maps a season. I mean, Battlefield 6 has not improved. I think Red Set got some changes people were waiting for recently, but what a blunder. Like the chasing stories about Battlefield 6. I never made any dedicated vids on it, but I have brought it up, a number of times. We talked about it on the show before. It's just been such an odd time for Battlefield. It's been a really just strange year for that entire game. I don't know how you market a Battlefield 7 or whatever they're working on next. I don't know how you come out and like, do you just promise stronger post launch? Like, I don't know what their strategy would be here, but either way, I just think if you're a Battlefield guy, bless you, enjoy. Hopefully, they're adding what you waited for. But something I can't stress enough is like they got lucky. Like I'll give you a better example. If X Defiant had come out during MW2, I think it almost would have gained as much traction as Battlefield 6 did because this game came out during Black Ops 7. You know what I mean? Like X Defiant came out a little too late when MW3 already quote unquote fixed the movement and fixed the gunplay.
Yeah.
And then Battlefield 6 here, like if it would have came out during Black Ops 6, I don't think it would have generated the numbers that it did. It just happened to be like Black Ops 7. Like, dude, we won't go into it too much here, but I think it's crazy to think about like how much was really against Black Ops 7. If you really think about it, like you're talking the back-to-back carry forward experiment not working, obviously. You're talking sub-series fatigue. You're talking Giant Harper reveal trailer cutscene that did not resonate well with people. You're talking narrative struggles that Black Ops already had. So like 7's like the tip of the iceberg with that. And Warzone not really being in the greatest spot either. I mean, it got better, I think, late Black Ops 6, but 7 just had
Yeah.
a lot
So
going negative for it.
Charlie put out that you sent me this earlier of the BO2 having 5.25 million players active on in US on PS5 last week.
Yeah.
And the reason why I didn't put that out is because it's clear as day in the video you can hear that the guy that the list and the information is not correct. He's like, there's games missing. So that's why I didn't cover it. So maybe he had someone else confirm that, as he didn't credit anyone. So
Sources probably, yeah, confirmed.
yeah, but interesting there. From the information that was available, it was it wasn't confirmed, to say the least. I'd say so. That's interesting.
Yeah, so in my video earlier, I brought that up and I did, provide a disclaimer on that. I'm like, look, the data is probably in the ballpark of that. Like, there's no denying the success of Black Ops 1 and 2, which I guess good segue here, perfect segue here, because you can see if I just look up top PSN games in my country, anybody could go do this. Go Google it. It'll log into your PSN and it'll show you. Black Ops 1 and 2 are at the very top of that. And I also brought this up, when this like catalog of games popped up, last week, when the top games got published, I did bring up the fact that anybody who wanted to pre-order GTA 6 probably already did it. Like, anybody that was interested in that game, remotely interested, that wanted to pick it up, has already picked it up. They've digitally pre-ordered the top edition or the standard edition of the game. So when you think about it, it's like, what's the hottest game right now? People are like looking into every single day. It would be Black Ops 1 and 2, the ports, right? I believe it was, Mystic Ryan. I believe it's a gaming insider, not familiar with the person, but did claim on a podcast that there were millions of people playing both BO1 and 2. I'm sure we'll see more accurate numbers published later, but like you just said, in that podcast clip, they had mentioned that there's other games that should have been on the list that they're seeing that weren't listed there. So these numbers could be a little off. But no denying, right? And real quick, really weird fake rumors going around about World at War and Modern Warfare 2 and 3 getting ported. There was just zero information about that. I don't know where that came from. So I see that getting spread all around Twitter and whatnot. So that's just not something you should expect because there's just no information. No doubt, though, Microsoft has seen the success of these ports. I mean, they own Activision, right? So they've seen the success with these ports. They may consider maybe porting them to Xbox or looking into remastering these games faithfully. Like, I would not doubt that one bit. But this has been a really, again, another odd thing that's happened this summer, like chasing stories about these ports, covering the ports. You're talking from a content perspective only, and I'm sure you could talk about this from like a detonated Twitter standpoint. You're looking at performance that's probably hotter than anything Black Ops 7 could have achieved. And even in some cases, hotter than like some of the recent MW4 news. But MW4 is an odd one there because, again, it was about a month of radio silence. So once things, really get back into gear with new reveals, like that'll be hot as it was when the game got announced. But these ports are hitting for content. You can tell they're hitting for players. Iron Galaxy, who ported them, has been updating them. There was an update that came out earlier today for the ports. I made a video about that. COD's in a crazy place. There's a COD for everybody right now. What are your thoughts, following the launch of these ports? What are your thoughts on, like, where we are right now as a community? Like, this is a pretty wild time playing Black Ops 1 and 2 again in the Big 26.
I mean, I'm not, because I can't get into my PSN account, but
Rip.
Yeah, PlayStation support won't reply to me. Does anyone know what to do? PlayStation support won't even reply to me. I can't get in contact with them. But yeah, I mean, it looks fun. That's about as much as I can say about it. I mean, there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of interest around it, and it's been a blast covering that from the outside. But I mean, yeah, I think imagine how much more it would be if it was like a full on remaster.
Oh God,
and not just a port. Like, this is just a port, and it's getting this much attention. Imagine if it was a full on remaster, updated graphics, whatever. So someone said email. I know. Do you know the email? What is it? PlayStation support. I mean, I'll do some research into that.
Yeah, their support's a little strange sometimes. Little dinosaur-y with how they help people with the getting their accounts back and whatnot. But I will say, chat, like, the only weird thing about the ports is that they kind of released pre-patch versions of these games. So Black Ops 1 came out in November of 2010. In December of 2010, there was a patch that went out that fixed the overcorrection to the sniping class. And also fixed a number of other like XP related exploits and a ton of other problems. So the port's released in a pre-patch state. So bugs that existed in November of 2010 were within these ports, or within this port for Black Ops 1 at least. Black Ops 2 had, a different set of problems, obviously, but these were completely shadow dropped. There was no marketing, and we kind of expected, right? There's not going to be a trailer or anything, but maybe a blog, and there wasn't anything like that at all. They just randomly shadow dropped them, and we kind of anticipated their release because PlayStation Size had found in the back end that these updates were ready, ready to come out. So we were like, oh, maybe we're about a week away, but no, they shadow dropped, which the timing was pretty funny for me at least because I was still packing for the hospital. The shadow dropped out of nowhere. We had no way of knowing. I wasn't streaming that day, funny enough, wasn't streaming that day when they came out, but still got a video out, about the ports themselves. And just like I had talked about in a recent video, not to toot my own horn at all, because I think a lot of people said this, but it was very obvious, right? Just common sense. Xbox just changed the prices of these games, $40 a piece. Map packs are about, I think, $10 a piece. Or I think the season pass had been listed at like 30 or something, or 40 instead of the original 50. And personalization packs were made free. These ports followed that exact price structure. But PS Plus subscribers were able to go and get a discount on them until the first week of August. So that's cool. I think that's cool that they at least did that. I think if you're going to get these ports, if you're interested in them, you probably would have already bought them with PS Plus. And you can't play online without Plus anyway. So you're kind of forced to buy them at a discounted price right now if you're interested. So they came out. The interest couldn't have been hotter. And certainly excited to see, what the next few updates and downloads end up doing for these ports, because there are still a few things that need to get fixed. Sniping class is still broken. There are still some matchmaking issues, some stutters, and a number of other things. But people that were getting like 1 million XP and, killing themselves over and over, are using unlock tools to unlock everything. Like all that looks like it's been ironed out, and I'm sure it'll only get better, with time. But still weird to see people like care that much to cheat in these old games. Like I don't really understand that. Just enjoy them for what they are, because that'll tell them, hey, we want other Call of Duties ported. We want more remasters. That's what you could hope for at this point. But hopefully, majority gets in with the PSN account. Yeah, the Moon Easter egg still bugged. Like what? Like how does that work? On PSN profiles, plenty of people have gotten the Big Bang Theory achievement, which wasn't on PS3. It's only on these ports. And people have gotten it, but now people are saying that's not even doable. Like, it doesn't track the fact that you've collected the goldenrod and focusing stone for the super Easter egg. So I don't know how that's still busted. But yeah, PlayStation.support@sony.com. There you go.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, that's good. So yeah, but I guess a better question: what do you think this does? Like, I've seen some comments that I don't really agree with. I've seen comments suggesting that this could actually hurt not just the end of Black Ops 7, which I don't know how much more you can hurt that game, but could also hurt Modern Warfare 4. Like, do you think that game needs like a quote unquote classic playlist, which BO7 currently has? Do you think these ports have in any way kind of like changed the timeline a little bit with how Call of Duty is looking going into a new game? What are you thinking about that?
I mean, that's a tough question because you can look at it, and the way I look at it is like, oh, is it hurting Activision? Well, no, because they're profiting through all of it. Through the season passes and the game prices. Right now, I wouldn't say it's hurting, but a more like deep look into it, you can be like, all right, is this what people wanted all along? Or is it just because, people have such fond memories of, playing this way back in the day? I mean, I think the biggest miss and what Activision should take away from it is that they should have never stopped remasters. They should have kept up with that. MW4 is an amazing example of that. Very, very well received during a down year, by the way, of Infinite Warfare, a down year. They released MW4 with it. Very well received. It's the direct opposite of a future game. They could have done the same thing this year. They could have had BO7 experience and then the direct opposite as like maybe like a BO2 or whatever, right? A fully remastered experience. I think that should be the takeaway. You can just remaster games fully.
Yeah.
And it will be extremely popular. But now I don't think we're ever, obviously given they've done the ports, there is zero work done on any possible remasters for either of those games, because otherwise they wouldn't release the ports. You know what I mean? Like, what would be
Or why not double dip though? What if the ports are planned for like 2028 or 9, and they're like, let's port the games now, get some cash flow going on these ports, and then remaster them later?
It's a possibility, but it reminds me of when Red Dead Redemption 1 got ported, and it had a similar release for PC and everything. Very minimal enhancements, and as soon as that happened, you're just like, okay, now we know they're really not working on a Red Dead Redemption remastered.
I see.
And I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing with this. Like, I don't think they would have done this if a year or two from now they have a full-on remaster planned, or it currently in the works. The plans could change now, but I think it would be really hard to sell a remastered game of a one you just ported. Then again, it was only on PlayStation. In theory, a full-on remaster would be available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So
right.
I don't know. In my personal opinion, I feel like that's a key telling that they don't have any remasters planned. And I think that's pretty obvious considering the last one we got was 6 years ago.
And that didn't sell bad at all, I don't think. I think people really did dig. They were digging.
It has a place, even if it was just the well. I'm talking about MW2 campaign remastered.
Oh yeah,
because that was technically the last one. Even something like that, as small as that, like remaster BO1 campaign. That is that is the best campaign of all time. I think that's crazy to me how Activision have done that. If they don't want to commit to the multiplayer, that's fine. There is beautiful stories there, amazing, iconic characters and missions that a lot of people would love to go replay with updated graphics.
Yeah. And I have brought this up at events I've been to. I'm like, what are the chances? What are the odds? And they're like, hey, we'd love to see it, but not something in the cards right now, unfortunately. And I would even, as like a slight rebuttal to that, I would almost say, hey, what if the ports, and obviously, I mean, I think most people know the ports exist because, again, Black Ops 1 and 2 were not playable at all on current gen. And so they want to make sure that just about every COD is playable on current gen because Microsoft owns them. They got to make back that $69 billion investment. The thing is, though, what if the ports were sort of testing the waters? Like, hey, what would that do for revenue and for player numbers? Like, if we remaster the games, let's test it out by porting them first. I wonder if there was any discussion. I'll have to be a fly on the wall and hear like a meeting about that. I would love to know like if that was ever talked about because they see it. I mean, if let's say there are more people that bought the Black Ops ports than people that pre-ordered Modern Warfare 4, can you imagine that? Like we don't. I doubt. I mean, is that? I mean, I saw the report, which is almost unbelievable. But I guess if you think about PlayStation being the dominant platform for COD, it is kind of believable. It was claimed by the press recently that there were more people playing Black Ops 1 and 2 ports on PlayStation than people playing BO7 on all platforms. You're talking about PS4 and 5, all Xboxes, Battle.net, Steam, Microsoft Store, Game Pass. That's fucking crazy. Okay, like think about that. So I wonder what the MW4 pre-order numbers look like. Like where do they hold up compared to the people that are buying these Black Ops ports? Like that would have to mean something's coming. That would have to mean that something would come of this eventually. But I think something I can confidently say based on even the footage that you're looking at, it's like MW4 is not a movement shooter the way that BO7 is. It is definitely scaled back. Like you have Infinity Ward's version of like supine prone, diving on your back. You got your slide cancel. You still got, the cool, faster mantling than ever, shimmying on like a pipe and all that stuff. Like you have that in Modern Warfare 4, but it's still like, it's slower than Black Ops 7, but it's still faster than any Infinity Ward game I could recall right now, if that makes sense. So when you keep that in mind, it's like, it's still almost as classic as you probably would get, in the modern day right now. Really cool merch being given out there too in New York. Very cool.
Yeah, I want some
Polaris.
of that, dude.
Oh, the Polaris jersey. Dude, I love my Polaris jersey from BO7 because it has our names on it too. Fuck, dude. It's actually so disappointing though, thinking about the fact that like they just probably aren't doing it next. I can't imagine they do it next. Honestly, everything they would have done there is being done right now. That's a sick shirt. Look at the Polaris. And New York's a vibe, man. I mean, we had like the best fucking time with the Black Ops 6 Squid Game event. We had the best fucking time at Times Square. Dude, that was great. And on top of that, there's a New York campaign mission in Modern Warfare 4's campaigns. Like New York is honestly like the best place you could probably do it next this year. It's either New York or Korea. Which one? So that would have been cool, but I think whatever CODPOD's coming up or the end of like Champs this weekend, the end of this event will probably when they announce like, hey, here's like the next big showcase reveal or something. That would probably be when they finally talk about that. But and I wonder, like, I think that what if the CODPOD addresses these Black Ops ports? Or are they gonna just pretend that didn't happen? Do they pretend like do they dodge that success because they really want you to be interested in the new Call of Duty, not ones that came out in 2010, 2012. I don't know.
I mean, they're updating it, so it's like I guess it's anyone's guess what happens with them. Whether or not Treyarch acknowledges them more. Like I feel like there would be some sort of post from Treyarch being like, hey, thank you for all the support of the so-and-so classics. You could even do like a Bethesda-esque tweet like they did today, where it's being like, all right, now XYZ remaster are in like pre-production. Thank you for the support on the Black Ops ports. Like
yeah.
Like they could do something like that, but I mean they can't do something like that because it's not planned, and they won't do it. That's why they won't say it, because it's not planned and we'll never do it.
I think
it's just not in the cards for Call of Duty anymore in terms of the schedule. Like when you're gonna bundle it with the brand new game. How does that work with Warzone? You almost can't do it unless you do it like in the middle of the summer.
Doesn't need to work with Warzone. I mean, I think I told you this in person.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to think of like Activision execs heads.
Yeah.
They need to, everything needs to connect to Warzone. Everything, we need to have live events. We need to have whatever. Everything needs to connect to Warzone. So it's like they probably see that as like what's the point of this if we can't connect it to Warzone?
Well,
that's my personal opinion.
I wasn't to bring it up earlier. I'm like, yeah, as far as how you monetize these older games, like Modern Warfare Remastered had it easy because they re-released the Variety map pack. They didn't come at launch. You had supply drops in that game with new weapons and new cosmetics, new camos, new content. Exclusion Zone was a mastery. Like, I mean, there was some cool shit they added in Modern Warfare Remastered. It's like, could you do that? I think the answer is yes. Not in the ports, but you could do that with the remasters of these older games. But still, like, would that take the place of a full new COD? I don't think it should, nor can it, because you wouldn't get 6 seasons of content for those old games. That just would not happen. And most folks would argue, oh, you don't need any of that stuff. But like, I think with the way COD thrives today, you would. With the way creators produce, you would. Don't need a Warzone integration. I don't think that needs to happen. I think Warzone can still exist on its own turf there. But you really think about it. As far as like what an exec could be thinking about, I mean, look at the Bethesda announcement today. Like you said, I mean, I would have guessed that right when Fallout Season 1 was a hit, they were going to be like, hey,
get these remasters, expedite them, put everyone on them.
If not that, then a new Fallout.
What have they been doing for 3 years?
I don't know what the fuck is happening. I mean, what is Obsidian? Like, I don't get. Well, because I mean, you did a whole season about New Vegas. Like, again, I'm not the biggest Fallout fan here. I think it's a really cool franchise, but like, I just can't understand sometimes when like things that should have been announced, even if they were in pre-production, the earliest possible fucking like concept art was being drafted, like even just announce it then. But then I know you don't want to announce games too early and they're like 5 years out. I know that. I mean, what about Skyrim, right?
Bethesda's Elder Scrolls, so it doesn't matter.
Elder Scrolls. Yeah, no, you're right.
Known for that.
You're right.
But I mean, weird. To build on that point, like at the end of Fallout Season 2, which was just at the start of this year, or ended at the start of this year, I believe, yeah. Like when that there was so much hype around a Fallout 3 remaster or some sort of remaster coming out as a shadow drop at the end of that season, and someone like me, I don't buy games like really at all. I get Call of Duty every year.
Yeah.
And very few games in between. I was ready to swipe cards and purchase whatever remaster that came out at the end of that season. and there's nothing. And now they're just saying today that they're being worked on, they're in production or whatever. Um, and who knows how long that's gonna be? Maybe you
Right.
get one for season 4 of Fallout. Like I don't.
The show gets a series finale and they're like, here you go, guys. We finally got a new Fallout. Like, I could imagine the game selling better during the height of those shows. And dude, I was even thinking about this. Like, take it even a step further. I think the success of the Black Ops ports, I'm not even kidding. The success of the Black Ops ports, I mean, everything looks great right now, right? Crazy player numbers, crazy sales. Can you imagine what the ports would have done in the height of the return of Black Ops with BO6? That pre-launch window was fucking massive. I think it rivaled, if not surpassed, MW2's pre-launch hype. The ports would have hit even harder then. And maybe even like during BO6 when things got dry as hell, like last summer when there was nothing happening. Even then. So like, yeah, imagine full-on remasters, especially at the right time. That's a big point to make too. Like the timing really matters there.
Like they could have
Holy crap.
easily done BO1 port during like the MW3 like season 5 MW3 era leading into
Oh, yeah.
BO6, and then
Oh, yeah.
BO2 port with the month there was nothing going on last year.
For Black Ops, before Black Ops 7 got revealed. Yeah. Because you had a later reveal last
Yeah,
year.
I mean obviously like that's, you know, a little easier said than done. Obviously there has to be work put into these things, but yeah, timing is very important too. And you're talking about with the Fallout remasters, I think that's the biggest ball drop ever, is that there's these companies that are sitting on probably like hundreds of millions of dollars on remastered games, yet they're so dead set on either trying to avoid it or trying to build off it, and I haven't seen that work ever.
Well,
Like BO7 trying to build off BO2. I like BO7, but obviously for a majority, it doesn't even bring any sort of you know, candle or small light to what BO2 was. Same thing for maybe like BO6. Again, I think BO6 foundationally is good. Fell off with the post-launch content, but I don't know. Instead they write characters into the ground and forget about characters and have just like pointless narratives. It's crazy to me.
well, imagine like in a different world, because I think this actually might have been close to happening at one point. I'm not a gaming insider, so I couldn't tell you for sure, but I think at one point in time it was possible Game Pass would have came to PlayStation, and there would have been a reality where they kept COD on Game Pass. So imagine if these ports came out any sooner and they were just on Game Pass. For let's say they also came to Xbox. Like, I mean, I know Xbox people would have wanted that, but imagine they would have came to Game Pass at the wrong time. They would have profited a lot less. It would have meant a lot less. Or maybe they could have just released the ports as they did now, but like a year or two ago, and it could have even made up for like the underperformance, the shortcomings of Black Ops 7 with how it lost. You know, who knows how much? Like, they haven't. I don't think anyone's really reported on how much Black Ops 7 lost. 6 losing 300 million despite breaking records is fucking devastating. I think that's actually fucking crazy.
Well,
Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's actually crazy.
That's just, and to be honest, that had nothing to do with even the marketing of the game. I think
No.
it was pretty well rounded.
Yep.
Even leading up to the game, that has everything to do with Game Pass, and obviously, that was probably even worse with a game like BO7 or having controversy, easily having less sales because of it, and having Game Pass. That thing got I'd be very curious to see if, like you said, BO6 broke records, still lost 300 million. BO7 didn't. How much it is going to lose? How much did it lose? Maybe that's why they put these ports into production. Maybe somewhere near then to get that out to try to get something. I don't know. That's just conspiracy, but I don't know. That's interesting to think about.
Oh yeah. I mean, we won't go into too much detail. There's not too much to even talk about really, but season 5 of Black Ops 7, I mean, they ended the narrative with the Black Ops 7 story with the end of season 4. So I guess that means no intro cinematic cutscene for season 5, or if there is one, it's just kind of to promote the battle pass. It's not tied to the story that this game was trying to tell. But season 5 of Black Ops 7, obviously, I think the best content within it is coming with Reloaded, but Reloaded is kind of getting to that territory now. You're talking like, what, August 20th? if you look at the
Yep.
Black Ops 6 schedule, which is what I've been following, right? I feel like the beta and like a COD Next, if there is one, like all of that is just around that time. We're talking either end of August or September. Can't really be later than that because I think September 17th is when season 6 would begin, the haunting for Black Ops 7. That would round out that game's life cycle. So you're kind of in this window right now of like August 20th, September 17th. Those are like your two. So that gap in between is when you would assume beta for MW4, a COD Next if there is one of any sort. All the big reveals. And I've said this a few times too. Like season 5, I think every year has been just about one of the best seasons of that game, especially like Cold War. Look back at that. Even though that's a season that technically should get a bit of a pass with a little bit less content, only because the focus at around that time is on the new Call of Duty. Betas, marketing, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, well, I feel that way, right? But season 4, for whatever reason, has been like one of the weaker seasons every year. Black Ops 7 added a pretty good fucking 4th season. I thought the content was pretty darn good. 5, unfortunately, isn't as big, but I feel like the things they chose to add in season 5 are pretty good, excluding Endgame and maybe excluding Warzone. So I guess I'm talking more multiplayer zombies here. But season 5 is a bit of a slower one, probably the slowest and the smallest season of any that we've gotten for Black Ops 7. I'm impressed we've made it this far, though, with how much content they've added to BO7. I'm grateful for it. It's been fun covering. I've really loved the game. I wish it would have got received better, but I think BO7 is going to end up being like that. Maybe like your World War II, maybe your Infinite Warfare, like a really underappreciated experience. But you look back at it later, you're like, God damn, that game added this, and that. Like other games didn't have this. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy. BO7's COD version of Battlefield 2042. Thank you for that super chat. I can't speak on that too much because I don't really know how that game went down. I didn't play for 2042. I think you played it, right?
That's I don't think that's true at all. Because Battlefield 2042 is like actually bad.
Like at a foundational level, right? Because BO7 the foundation of BO7 is actually pretty fucking good, excluding campaign.
Yeah, like there's so much classic stuff in BO7. Obviously there's like wall jump and whatever, you can talk about movement, but like Battlefield 2042 like changed what Battlefield was. Like honestly, a better statement is MW2 is COD's version of 2042 because MW2 changed a lot,
right?
What Call of Duty had to do, what had to do with, and it's just same as what Battlefield 2042 did. So
it's a good rebuttal, yeah.
Even though I like MW2 for DMZ, but
yeah, no, and Modern Warfare 2, the thing is that like people would disagree. Like the thing is, and my opinion on Modern Warfare 2 has always been maybe considered a hot take to the average person, especially like the vocal people on Twitter or Reddit. Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, I appreciated it because it just wasn't Modern Warfare 19, and that's what I was looking for. Still acknowledge the flaws like the perk system and the red dots in the mini map and the fucking weapon platform system and so the movement was. I still acknowledge those critiques and I was like, hey, this is kind of weird, but it just wasn't MW19, so I instantly gravitated towards it more than I ever did their last game, right?
Well, here's the thing. I'll still defend weapon platforms and everything to this day. Main reason being is because in the most recent From the Ward episode, they showed the gunsmith, and every single AR has at least 60 levels on it.
Yeah, that's
everyone in the comments is like 60 levels. Well, you bullied them out of the system, which had every gun be maximum 20. So, like, what do you expect? Are you gonna bully them out of weapon platforms? So you can have lower levels on every single weapon, or you can have 60 per weapon with a bunch of attachments that mean shit. Or you can have weapons that go to level 20 max and you can just kind of run through it that way. I think I think that's crazy to me how people are complaining about high levels for weapons, but at the same time probably went against weapon platforms and having to use other weapons to unlock attachments, which I never had a problem with because there was 20 levels per weapon. It wasn't like something terrible.
Yeah, I think I didn't like how the UI was laid out. I don't think it was necessarily the feature. For me, it was how it was laid out. I never liked the whole Hulu tiles thing that they were going for with COD HQ initially. I wasn't a fan of that. Did you tweet out about the weapon levels? I'm sure you did. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that image.
No, I tweeted out a picture of the
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
I tweeted a picture of the
I got you with the AR. And that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, maybe the gunsmith could have been laid out a little differently. It's a brighter background, still the same like circular wheel of choices of attachments, apex at the bottom there. I think when it comes to weapon levels, for me, it's hard for me to get on board with being like, fuck, this is terrible, only because we don't know how fast you level the weapons up. Like, what if the leveling grind is as fast as like if the weapon was 30 levels? Like, what if like you're getting like twice as fast weapon levels as you grind plus weapon XP tokens? Like, you might fly through it all. I will say though, a flaw with making so many levels for the weapons is that so few people, and this could be a case, and I'm fucking hopeful this is not the case, dude. This could be a case where so many people don't ever get to experience Apex attachments because they don't level up a weapon enough to the max to use them. You don't have to prestige the weapon to use the Apex. You just got to max it out once, right? Will it be like an augment situation from Black Ops 7 Zombies where there's so many features and upgrades people just have not ever used because they don't play as much to be able to even max out their augment tree, their research for a perk or an ammo mod or a field upgrade? Like, are we looking at a progression system like that? And you would know, or you could tell right away, like anything built that way around just XP is for player retention, the FOMO, or maybe not so much FOMO, but more so around player retention and engagement, boosting that data. Probably less to do with Infinity Ward's philosophy and game design, more so somebody higher up that's like, you got to do this because of, you got to do more leaderboard events because that's boosting engagement for the seasonal, updates or whatever. Probably something to do with that. If I had to guess, I would just hope they don't have weapon progression be fucking completely destroyed. Because if that's what happens at launch, and I guess we'll see during the beta, right, how fast you're leveling up a weapon. But if that's how the launch goes, that'll be I think that'll be very damning for like public perception of the multiplayer, and that's not good. During launch, that would probably actually ruin a lot of the hype momentum going into MW4. If it's like, because again, Battlefield 6 just did that, and I think they've committed to it. Didn't they just have a thing in Battlefield, by the way? I just saw where they were letting you pop your tokens. Like it won't, if you pop them early, it won't use the time unless you're in game. They reverted that and said it was a bug. And we're like, wait, that's actually a great change. And you walked back on it? Oh, he just got a camo. Did you see that? Jay Broski I don't know if you're watching Jay Broski. He just got a camo from getting pistol kills. What the fuck? Wow. That's actually crazy with the deagle, I think. So Battlefield walked back on that. That sucks. But the whole progression thing, they have to get that right. They just have to get that right. The guy on stream is two-boxing. I mean, you can't two-box at can't be two. I mean, he's got to be.
What does that even mean?
Two-boxing on land's crazy though. That's a funny comment though. But wow, they were just going off there. It's pretty good footage. Are you gonna get the $900 PS6 for the next COD? No. I'm on PC, brother. I mean, the PS6 would be enticing if there's like an exclusive I want to play, and I'm like, wow, I have to get a PlayStation for that. But like, as the years go on, I'm a dad. I'm busier than ever. I'm producing more than ever. I'm happy doing it. So like, I just don't have interest like spending fucking a car payment or rent money on a fucking console. To just play a game that's not integrated with my content. I just can't see the point in that really. Let's see. What does that mean? Like, you don't know what two-boxing is? I know exactly what two-boxing is, but I just don't know what.
Yeah, but how are they gonna do that on
LAN? Yeah, in New York City.
On LAN, yeah.
Like, everybody playing against them is downstairs below them right now. But I mean, clearly it's rage demons. It's clearly
and
rage
they're demons.
It's I forgot to mention that earlier. Like, I'm actually pretty impressed with some of the gameplay I've been seeing. Like, there's some pretty good fucking players downstairs. Like, absolutely dominating.
Yeah, the general public, like, I mean, the only hardcores of hardcores are going to go there, right? So
yeah, exactly. Which makes sense anyway. That makes total sense. And on top of that too, people are just getting better at first person shooters in general. So, and then we got Skyrose. He was at, what was he at, like 4,000 or 5,000 concurrent yesterday?
Yeah.
He's at about 2,000 a day. And this is, again, big streamer. I think 1 million followers on Twitch. the novelty of streaming Kill Block. I think it's already wearing off. Imagine tomorrow and Sunday. I don't know. People have seen it. People have seen it all. So now it's like, yeah, you have dedicated fans, a community that are tuning in. I'm thankful though, chat. I appreciate all you guys that tuned into the reactions. We didn't know what was going to happen yesterday, really. Thankful for all the people that tuned in to my reaction to the gameplay yesterday. We absolutely crushed it. 50K people on YouTube, about 30K on TikTok. You guys are crushing it on Twitch. Like, it was very, very cool to see that. I do appreciate that. Again, one of the biggest streams that I think I've done in a while. Black Ops 7's not hit that hard for streams. The ports probably would have if we knew they were coming. I think the ports probably would have hit real hard if we knew they were coming, but wasn't able to stream that. But it's all good. And yeah, with MW4 news, I mean, there'll probably be stuff going on like almost every day going forward. I think now we're kind of past the drought or any type of slow moment for the new COD marketing. They're probably going to keep it going hardcore now.
I saw there was a clip going around of underhand throwing tacticals and lethals.
Yeah,
that is amazing. That's a really good feature. But again, like I said at the start of the episode, like obviously it'll have its place to use sometime in MP, but that is a generational feature for DMZ.
100%.
A lot more tactical stuff there. And maybe some slower MP modes. I could see that being really useful, like S&D. I think that'd be extremely useful for that. But yeah, I saw that. That's another Counter-Strike feature. So there's a lot of Counter-Strike influence that Infinity Ward has taken from the smokes being able to be shot through and you can see to the other side, or underhand throwing certain tacticals and lethals. That's all Counter-Strike. Yeah. So that's cool that they're kind of taking. I think I'll be very interesting to see how that goes for competitive play, because Counter-Strike is like one of the biggest comps in the world. We saw when we were at DreamHack, the stage and the area for Counter-Strike was like way bigger than COD. So
we walked in there, we're like, what the fuck what's going on in here? I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I thought our area was big. I'm like, no, this is like, what the hell is going on?
It was grand too.
Yeah, epic.
Like, it was quite the spectacle.
100%. Yeah, that was actually pretty. Yeah, that was pretty wild.
I want to see DMZ gameplay. I want to see raw DMZ gameplay. That's what I want to see.
That's the next step. That's the next step. Let me pull up that Sophie clip. I saw Doug tweeted it yesterday, shooting smoke. I mean, that's very, very cool. There are some really cool mechanics that we're going to be utilizing here. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be comp people and probably DMZ folks that utilize some of these new features the most, for sure. I think the general public might be like, oh, that's cool, that's pretty, but might not utilize stuff like this as much. But shooting through smoke is sick. I can't believe it's taken this long to get that feature too. That's crazy.
And I assume, since it's pretty much directly taken from Counter-Strike, if you underhand throw a grenade right at the base of a smoke, it'll all dissipate for like a second and a half, but then it'll slowly come back.
There's physics.
Yeah, so that's done a lot in Counter-Strike for like, trying to get, because they use smokes to block off sight lines, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a grenade, boom, you can pop it out for a little bit and try to get some pics of people crossing over or whatever. I'm curious to see if that made it in that physics with explosions. We'll see. I'll definitely be testing that.
Right. No, definitely worth a try. Definitely worth a try there. And it is, you know what I would have hoped they could have added is S&D to Kill Block this weekend.
That would have been cool.
It's just like, it's literally just gunfight, but very, 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 very cool previews of the game. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we'll see what's next, folks. They got a lot more to showcase. So we'll see how that goes. But hey, how are you feeling, real quick, before I forget? Endgame Season 5, real quick. I know you've been putting out some solid stuff on the Detonated channel for Endgame. Very minimal content coming this season. I'm sure maybe the Haunting will get something, but how are you feeling about that right now?
I mean, it was bound to happen. Like I've said in the videos where I've covered it, I'm grateful for all the content that it did get. It got pretty much a extremely good content for probably about 4 seasons in a row. It got really good content, and you can't you can't be expecting a crazy update every single time, but um, it seems like it's finally closing out now, which was expected. I was personally expecting season 5 to kind of be like the end.
Right.
Hopefully, the haunting does some cool stuff with maybe some extra bosses, or who knows what they do, or maybe they do nothing and I can go screw myself. But um,
Something, right? Yeah.
yeah, they're adding exotic ability boosts, which I'm excited to hop in and try. Make some videos about that. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is coming. There's a new like assignment that's like
Or you can race. Yeah.
you drive through like rings. I don't know. All for like an exotic, probably just an exotic weapon case. So
Yeah.
that's whatever. That's gonna be interesting. Um,
Right.
yeah, definitely over for Endgame. Um,
It's Jover.
but I still got videos in the works though.
No, that's good.
Still gonna
That's good.
try to get some uploads out on
Mhm.
it. As we go in the DMZ. But once DMZ hits, it's gonna be really something. I'm so excited for that.
Definitely. I saw some people were mad though because like Frequency's a great comp map, and you're just not getting that obviously because CDL's over as of this weekend. And then the addition of Spectre is cool as like the new Battle Pass operator, but how perfect would it have been? I mean, they connected into BO3 a little bit here with the Coalescence, acquiring the guild by the end of that story. It's like, how cool would it have been if like the actual campaign, the actual story of Black Ops 7 was bridging the gap better, which we were hoping for between BO4 and then 3 and the whole matriarchs or the archetype clones from Blackout, that program, the specialists, like so much you could have done there instead of introducing a bunch of new characters and like doing nothing with them anyway. Like it's just unfortunate that like the potential and the ingredients were all there for something pretty great. Um, you know, for some other Black Ops 7 updates and narrative, but you're getting like a Nuketown themed pinball machine. Like you were kind of shrunken down in a pinball machine. That's sick. Reminds me of Micro from BO3. So that's a really cool map coming. Weaponry, not nothing too wild on the weaponry side, but I'll still be streaming the season launch. When it comes out, it's this Thursday. But I will say it's been pretty refreshing jumping back and forth. Like you got some Black Ops 7 stuff people still care about. You got the Black Ops Sports. You got Modern Warfare 4. Like there is stuff happening literally everywhere. So that's been really refreshing to kind of jump around and
I will say,
yeah.
about season 5, it's extremely unfortunate that this is, in my opinion, the weakest season of BO7 being paired up against the hype of the ports and the MW4 stuff. Because it makes it look it just it's not. I don't think it's that good interest wise to be sandwiched between those two.
Yeah.
When it already wasn't like a super solid season. I think the events actually look really good, but I like MP stuff. I feel like the map I'm really interested in is like the Pinball Nuketown one that isn't coming until mid-season.
Yeah, everything's mid-season.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of the content I'm actually really excited for is mid-season, so it's like you're kind of getting on to start leveling up your battle pass on launch.
Yeah.
Warzone. They got to figure something out with Warzone, dude, because I don't think POI like updates are enough anymore.
Dude, I was so sick. Let me actually pull that blog back up. I was so fucking sick when I read this, and I'm like, I'm sure I read this wrong, but I didn't. I looked at this, and I'm like, hold on a second. Go to the Warzone tab of season 5. They confirmed they're bringing back Heavy Metal Heroes, the LTM. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like Hot Pursuit where like Black Ops Royale gets one new mode or whatever at least. They're not adding cosmetic support clearly. No blueprints or camos in Black Ops Royale. No new operator orders in Black Ops Royale. That's like criminal, beyond devastating. But I'm reading this and I'm like, Heavy Metal Heroes, no jetpacks. It's not in Black Ops Royale. It's in BR. And it's pretty vehicle based. But I'm like, why call it Heavy Metal Heroes? It's like, dude, hold on a second. Spectre's the operator this season. You didn't tie it into the narrative, even though Blackout is right here. You could have tied all that in with the clone story. Heavy Metal Heroes is getting added. It's not connected to Black Ops Royale. Like, dude, that's just wild to me. That's so upsetting. And I agree, though. A POI is not really enough for Warzone. Like, hopefully there's like maybe Easter egg camos or blueprints. Fortune's Keep came out, and there was nothing, like no universal rewards at all. And I'm like, that was disappointing as well. So very strange. There'll still be like camo still unlocked, as per usual. I'll be covering like the blackout camo event when that's out. That's kind of all I'll probably cover, to be honest with you, when the season begins. That's the crazy thing. That's probably all I'll really cover is that blackout camo event. And as the other events come out, we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
eh,
there's some cool like there's like a BO4 camo coming. I don't think that's till week 2 though. The Soul Eater camo.
oh, is that what event's that tied to?
Machine of War, I think it's called.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, and then there's
It's
also
like a trophy collection event.
I think there's a lighthouse survival leaderboard event and a free run leaderboard event as well, right? So we have 2 leaderboard events also coming.
Yeah, I'm excited for that camo. It has good coverage and it changes a bunch of colors, so I'm really excited for that one. But
Right.
yeah, events look good, but I mean obviously endgame's not that good. Endgame's not that good. And MP is MP. All the zombies content
Ooh.
is reloaded. Widow's Wine's returned. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Probably like I don't know. Maybe I'm very curious to see why they kept Widow's Wine to the final map. Maybe just to
Yeah.
juice that final experience as much as possible to get people on.
Sure.
I don't know.
I just zombies, man. Like it's just sad to see how zombies is kind of gone. With Black Ops 7, man. Like it's offering, and I guess there's no relics on the map either. It's not mentioned in the blog. We know about the Mr. Peaks Ultra Mastery Camo. If you unlock 30 relics, it says all 30 in the menu. So that says like there's probably no more than 30. So that means the ones we have so far. Did somebody get shot in the video game at COD Champs? Wait, what? Didn't want to hint towards the Takeo spider incident of Zetsubo, dude. I don't know, man. Like it's unfortunate to see the way zombies went down. It's like, you ever see comments? I'm sure you get comments all the time, like, "Oh, where's the zombies? I'm on over for 4." And I'm just like, brother, we do not need that, man. Like I love zombies and I'll always cover it, and I'm a big like OG zombie fanatic, but like it needs time to rest, dude. Like the interest should be fucking astronomical for Black Ops 7 zombies, for gameplay at least, and it's just not. Story I can understand. I'm with you. Like, oh, but my gameplay wise, I should have still hit. But sadly, Kawakujo had a pretty good run despite we talked about that last episode. Like despite the marathon drama. But yeah, I think season 5, like there'll be very minimal coverage, at least for me. There won't be too much to cover anyway. So we'll still be, I'm sure, yapping about Modern Warfare 4 and these Black Ops ports here. But we'll see what other surprises come with that. But like I said, it is weird to see that the best stuff for season 5 is saved for Reloaded, when again you're looking at, like I mentioned earlier, that window of time after August 20th, but before September 17th. That's kind of your only window, I think, to really go out and do a COD Next and then the MP beta. So that's going to be an interesting time. There'll be a lot happening, I'm sure, simultaneously. What else? Oh, dude, what do you think about? I mean, this is so cringe, man. What are you thinking about the fact that the new gunny feature in the Gunsmith, people were really tearing into that, and I'm like, what the? Hold on, all it is a feature that lets you just create a random loadout using things you already unlocked. That's all it is, and people just get way too far. Even though that was confirmed like months ago, all of a sudden people have a problem with it now. What'd you think about that when that happened a few days ago?
Yeah, so the post in question is a post that I put up about the gunsmith. I didn't even think twice about it. I just saw the gunsmith, posted it, and it just so happens in that screenshot, in the other screenshot shown in the Into the Ward episode, or from the Ward episode, it doesn't show the gunny in every single one of those. So like by a stroke of luck, I somehow screenshotted this one specifically and posted it. And it says like, it's like, "Hi, I'm Gunny." Like I can, it sounds very like an AI bot, the wording of it. And I went through and read it, and I was like, that looks kind of weird. Like, why is it like introducing itself? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a character.
I can help you build a gun loadout. And I don't blame people for thinking it's like an AI adjacent like Chat GPT that builds your weapon. I can't necessarily blame people for that. I can't necessarily blame people for that because it's weird. It's weird to be in a create a class menu and have like this little robot text being like, "Hi, I can help you build your weapon." It's weird. And Ghost of Hope Court retweets it. That tweet goes viral, and Infinity Ward reply to that post and be like, "Wrong," brackets again, which is hilarious. They hate Ghost of
They
Hope,
hate
bro.
this guy, dude. Yeah, they fucking hate this
They
guy.
hate him so much, and they're like, "No, it's not an AI bot. It'll use existing attachments, but the builds are made by our developers based on your weapon level." Okay, cool. So they debunked that, but I still think that's like that's a weird I still think that's like a weird sort of, I don't know. It's very puzzling to me.
What, the
So every
reply
build,
or oh no, the
no,
feature?
just this the actual feature. Like every build is made by a developer. That I
Well, what
kind
I'm
like.
remembering, let me pull up in my video. I have a screenshot of this. I think it's from, remember that Middle Eastern short that got deleted? I think was it a month or two ago? So the footage from that short got released in I think I put it in this video. The footage from that short got released with the recent From the Ward episode. But one of the things from that short that didn't make it to the new episode is something. I have it right here. When you click on Gunny, it does say select build, short range, balanced, or long range. So that's the way I think every build was made by a developer and not AI. Because yeah, it'll randomize based on the attachments you've unlocked, but will still, I think, put you in like one of these three brackets. Like, oh, if you have X amount of things unlocked, it'll, you can select a short range build, or you could put balanced or long range. I don't think every build though got handcrafted. I think what they did is
That
they've grabbed all the possible, like they've put together combinations for short, balanced, and long, and then from there let the algorithm kind of do its part. But not
I think it would be I
it's
think it would
weird
be
though.
insanely, like, if you have a gun level 3 and you're like, "Gunny, what can I do here?" It's gonna put like one attachment on your gun. Like, I don't.
Well, yeah,
Will
but
it put
it's
every
still
single attachment it can on your gun, or it's weird?
yeah, it's still not AI. Like I think most people from my observation here, most people have an issue with generative AI. But what about like the AI bots that walk around in your games? You talk to Siri on your phone, your fucking laptop, your fucking car. There's AI everywhere. And I want to remind you that there are like loadout builder websites and even apps out there for multiple games. So it's not like we've never seen like a loadout builder auto generator before based on certain stats that'll generate, what makes more sense for you. It's just kind of like a weapon build code thing where it's like, that's the gimmicky-ish feature that people clearly are using, hence why they're keeping it. It's just there. I don't think it's some harmful thing where it's like developers lost their jobs because Gunny exists. Like, or I know I saw tweets like, oh, YouTubers are kind of out of a job if they do, loadout videos. But I'm like, I see that feature being something that creators would probably use if they're doing like, my dog or my baby or my wife chose my loadout, that kind of content, right? The game chose this loadout for me and I'm going to go do a challenge and do something in MP or
I
Warzone with it. Like, it doesn't seem like one of those things that I think is that like, not that serious. It's such a silly little
but
thing.
I just I don't blame the people for thinking
No.
that
Yeah.
that's what it was, because like I pulled up the image and this is what it says: "Hello, I can help you build a weapon when you have more attachments unlocked. Keep leveling your weapon." Like
Yeah.
that sounds like
Yeah.
an AI prompt,
It
like
does.
an
It does.
AI. And obviously, like, like we said, they disproved it's not like an AI thing. But I think that's an extremely funny thing to have, like, in a super, like, it's like, so everything's like military and like boom attachments, and it's like, "Hello, I can help you build a weapon." It's just, it feels out of place to me. But
I will say this.
just that wording specifically is hilarious.
Yeah, I think my biggest problem, and to me the only problem, is that wording. I think if you didn't have that, like, "Hi, I'm a character too, and I'll help you build something," like if you didn't have that, then I wouldn't understand why
Well,
people immediately were like, AI, blanket buzzword, everything's AI, everything I don't like is AI.
well,
But that caption, that text does kind of scream like, "Hey, I'm Grok. How you doing?"
well,
Yeah.
not that specifically, because Banane put in chat, randomized with a prompt isn't AI. Well, yes, we know, but obviously we can't see the UI of what Gunny is. a lot of people are interpreting that this is kind of like the beginning, like greeting, and then you go into Gunny and it's like a chat log with like an AI thing. That's what people were thinking, because of how that looked. Um, that's my um, sort of what I gathered from a lot of comments is that people thought you go into that because of how that looked. You go into it and it's like a chat GPT talk to a bot and kind of work through what loadout you want. Like, hey, do you like long range? Do you want to, do you like rushing?
Yeah.
That's the vibe it gives. But they confirmed it's not, so it's whatever. Um, but I think it's still worth the conversation.
Definitely still worth
And
the
we had it.
conversation. No, definitely still worth the conversation. I'm not trying to like discredit or disregard the reasonable like concern about that. I just again like it doesn't it never rubs me the right way when especially in the Call of Duty community when people are like screaming about AI because I'm like, dude, yeah, there'll be AI, maybe AI slop calling cards or cosmetics. And I think even Mark Gridsby, the new studio head at IW, I think he commented on it recently, and I'll go over this another time. But in a video at least, he had mentioned that yeah, like developers use AI to manage workflow and to manage deadlines and whatnot, but it's not taking away their positions and it's not ruining the game as we know it. And that's what he said in like I think it was a press interview. So with him saying that, I mean, yeah, AI is not going to be making your operators, your maps, your weapons. They're not going to be making. It's not going to be making choices of like, hopefully not narratively and seasonal structure. But yeah, they might use it, from an artistic standpoint to do X, Y, Z, and you could disagree with that and you could critique that respectfully. That's fine. I just think like in the Call of Duty. In the Call of Duty scene, at least, like way too often I see even outside of COD, I'll see people saying like, I don't like this, must be AI. Like it's not that easy, like low-hanging buzzword that people just use to criticize anything. I think that's
Um,
unfortunately a problem.
yeah. Benane said AI has to be able to learn, make its own decision. These are programmed to do specific tasks. Well, yeah, I mean, we know that now, but before it was very limited information
Yeah,
about it. And given we
obviously,
didn't really
yeah.
know what it was, and that kind of little pop-up looking weird, it's that's the result we got where people were very skeptical on what that thing was.
Yeah, no,
Um,
definitely, no, definitely, reasonable skepticism there. Hey, thank you, SKNO, for those super chats, man. Really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. MW4 is a great game. No glazing. We could just see it. We just see it there. Was info on DK opinions. MW4 will do great. I just think, and I said it before, when the embargo lifted too for MW4 info, it's like, no matter, I said it in my video, I'm like, no matter what I say about this, it won't do it as much justice. Whether you trust my opinions, whether you hate my opinions, whether you trust other COD creators, like the real justice through all of it will be you trying it for yourself, even besides this first person gameplay that you're seeing, from Twitch and whatever. Like playing it will really, you know, give you a better understanding of absolutely everything. And like you said earlier, like, a bunch of walls of text in a blog, like also won't do it much. Right. You got to actually play the game. At least multiplayer, you're kind of like, oh, it's multiplayer. But like DMZ is one of those modes where writing anything is almost just like not going to do it. It's just not going to do it at all for people that are
yeah,
on
you
defense
gotta
about playing it.
throw. Sadly, with something like DMZ, you just gotta throw people into the deep end, and then
Yeah,
they gotta figure it out because there's so many things that are new to it. You got crafting, you got this, like so many things, right? Um, and unless they're going to be doing like a lot more gameplay focused thing, even then I think it's so hard to really gauge what DMZ is until you're actually playing it yourself. um and I think gameplay with people that are explaining what to do would
Mhm.
obviously aid that and help that prior to launch. But
Yeah.
the most amount of learning you're going to do in DMZ is when you're going to play it. No amount of blogs or anything will help with that. There's simply too much to grasp to ever for anyone to ever fully understand. And that's not
Right.
like a diss at like whatever marketing or whatever. That's what extraction is.
No, you're
So
right. Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I even said this, kind of bringing it back to MP. I said it during my initial impressions video. I'm like, the game was almost too fast. That could be a problem for those that like don't like quote unquote movement shooters. But the game's not a movement shooter, but it's almost too fast in a sense. And streaks were really overpowered. Apex attachments really overpowered. Equipment, there's a lot of it, and I'm not really like a big equipment guy. That frustrates me a lot in like Black Ops 7. So I'm like, those are some things where I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a little scary going into the beta. We'll see if any changes happen, before the full launch. But I see this comment from Music saying, sounds like Gunny wants to give you suggestions based on your unlocked attachments. Isn't that what all AI chatbots do? Here's the thing: even if IW didn't reply to that tweet, and even if, let's say, it got revealed that it's like, oh yeah, it's full AI, it's fucking like Grok meets Call of Duty. Even if it was, again, we're talking about a game here. Is there nothing else in the game you're interested in to where you're like, I'm gonna cancel my pre-order and not play this game because there's an AI feature in it? Like, is it really, is it a real, are we in reality if we're gonna say we're gonna boycott this game because he just, oh my god, the Timmons had he almost had a crazy feed in his game got no signal. That's hilarious. Holy fuck. Are we really going to be like, yeah, I'm going to cancel my pre-order, not buy the game, not give a fuck. I'm going to hate it because there's one feature that has AI in it. And that's not defending AI. That's just asking the question of like, is that the end all be all? Like, that's it. That's a deal breaker. You don't care anymore because there's an AI calling card or a fucking, a AI gun builder that, again, I'm probably never going to touch. I think even creators that make like loadout videos will maybe at most be the ones touching it and, doing videos and challenges with predetermined loadouts or something, whatever. Like, it's just like, avoid it. Like, don't use it. There's AI calling cards. I don't equip them. I don't look at them. I don't really care about calling cards anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's worth bringing up.
Yeah.
You said, yeah, Fajardi's the guy who stole that. I love, dude, that comment. It's fucking, it's just, I swear that has to be bait. I think that came from TikTok, right? Did that come from TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at TikTok, I'll see the craziest shit you've ever seen in the comment sections. Break the pencil. AI artists are oppressed. Dude.
Bro.
It's just showing off the underhanding a grenade dude and said, wow, it's cool. Now I want to play the game even less. I did see, I think I saw this more from, I saw this more from Tim's comment section. And, Tim, he's not a pro player. He's not going to convey, demon gameplay. Like, I'm sure, decent shooter, whatever. But you're looking at much more of like a fun, breakdown of the game, right? Not something that's super sweaty. But, yeah, I think I saw the most comments like that from his comments, at least on Twitter. Like, now, yeah, you saved me the $80 or the $100. I'm like, I don't think those people were going to fucking buy COD anyway this year. They're either on the ports being hypocritical, still giving the same company money, or they're going to play GTA. Or maybe they're excited for something else, and more power to them. But it's always crazy. Yeah, like the hate watchers and people that had their mind up regardless would never be convinced otherwise, trying to make their voices heard that, again, nobody cares. Like, I don't think anybody cares. If you want to hate or love COD, like, that's your business, man. Like, that's none of our business. And obviously your usual rage baiters and grifters and scammers, they're all gonna take advantage of this alpha weekend. They're gonna be ripping it a new one. They're probably talking about how the ports are the worst thing ever because of matchmaking issues. They gave up on Black Ops 7 because the game doesn't get views for them. Not getting views from many people, so it's like it's the typical COD cycle. That's kind of what happens every year anyway. That's kind of what happens anyway. What's up, Mighty Stance? How we doing? Bro's a truth baiter. I hate the people who want to do, oh, while shooting through smoke, let's not pre-order. But I don't even see how that's a bad thing. I don't even see where's the negative with that.
It's just
right?
It's just more so of like, oh, they'd rather like a full dev talk about like, okay, like SBMM and tick rate, and like, to them that's not important for them to that even be shown. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what answer would please them anyway about tick rate and SBMM? Like, they're not gonna believe it anyway. Or aim assist, and like, I'll tell you the most valid criticism. I don't think we talked about this yet, but to round out today, the most valid criticism I've seen, and again, you can't really come to a conclusion on this from just gunfight. You kind of need regular 6v6 with fully made loadouts, with custom loadouts. I think the best criticism has been Bloom, because when you get rid of Bloom, your gun really does shoot where you're aiming. It kind of removes the need for like hip fire lasers and all those kind of attachments, right? Like, your gun is as accurate as ever. That allows bad players to probably gain an upper hand with, a good weapon or whatever. First shooter, I think, to not really have Bloom, especially when comparing to Modern Warfare 2, the difference is absolutely mental. And I know they put that in the From the Ward episode. So that's something to be a little concerned about. Like, are they gonna have to walk back on that a little bit? Once people actually play the game, the way it's supposed to be played, when people play the full game, the beta, will that be something they end up, walking back on a bit? Because that might be that might really remove a lot of the skill gap with your gunfights. But I don't know. What do you think about that? And I do like that they showed MW2 though. They really want you to know it's not the same game. What were your thoughts on the bloom change?
I mean, I'm just gonna have to. I don't really have an opinion on it at the moment. I need to feel it. I need to get in and play to really form an opinion on it, whether or not if it feels too powerful or whatever.
Yeah.
At this moment, obviously, I think MW2's visual recoil and bloom like that was everywhere, right?
That's nuts.
So I mean, I'm excited to try it. I mean, I have to try it before I give I mean, you have tried it, so what do you think about it?
I didn't feel like every gun was just a straight laser and you're just a tank all the way around. Like, there is still some recoil, but I think hip fire was way more controlled. Weapons, I mean, still felt like a Modern Warfare game. Like, you still felt that level of realism. You still felt like you could miss a shot, is a good way to put it. You can still miss a shot. It just, I think, helps a little bit when maybe somebody's up close, you're in a close range engagement and you start hip firing. Like, if you're on mouse and keyboard, I think it'd be a little bit easier, but you will be able to hit your target. Like, there is no randomness to it. That's what it felt like. There was no randomness to it, but you can still miss. But it just wasn't anything where I'm like, damn, this changes everything. I think though, when you have your biggest sample size in a beta, that's when you'll really know, like, oh shit, people either abused this or exploited that, or this is giving bad players an advantage. Like, that's when it's going to matter. When more people get their hands on something like that, I think it's going to be, that's going to be really telling. But, I guess and again, Infinity Ward already tweeted about changes today so that they could gather, they're going to be gathering more feedback from just these streams this weekend, and they'll be adjusting things for the beta. And then again, that will lead to adjustments for launch, right? We'll hopefully get a big difference compared to Modern Warfare 2, because Modern Warfare 2, there was so much beta feedback that just did not get implemented. And we've all talked about that. I can't think of, that's what I'm saying. It's funny when creators get blamed for shit, because I can't think of any creator that was like, MW2 beta, 10 out of 10. Like, you don't got to change anything. Like, I can't imagine people that were more vocal other than like the creators that were really deep into MP that are like, hey, what about XYZ, ABC? Like, is this stuff getting fixed at launch? And it just never did. It just never did.
Even for a game like BO7, I remember I put out a list of what I think needs to get changed from playing the beta. So like this idea that like, oh, there's never any feedback given or whatever. I think maybe it would stick in those people's brains more if you're like screaming and swearing.
One of those guys.
Like, oh, he's mad. He's mad. Okay, now we can accept what he's saying because he's mad about it. When we voiced our opinions just by whatever, simply stating it in a tweet, or even on here and like this, and I'm sure in your videos, like, you can have problems with something and not be screaming your head off. I don't know,
because I'm not that mad. I'm just like, oh fuck. like dude, most of the time too, like on stream, like we're lobby surfing. We got limited time. We're lobby surfing. We're just fucking around. We're laughing. We'll be like, oh wow, that lobby's impossible. We're just backing out. And some people actually comment on my videos like later that day, like, dude, I can't believe you're this mad at like whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm not mad at all, man. I'm just we're having a good time. We got limited time to play. Like, fuck it, man. Like, and like I said earlier too, most people would disagree. I was not on the MW19 train. I came to respect and appreciate that game more when I moved to PC and when I really started getting more familiar with those fundamentals and some of those changes. I'm like, all right, I'm digging it on some of the maps. I'm not a fan of too much of the map design in that game, especially the launch maps. But MW2, I'm like, oh, it's just not 2019. Wow, I'm on board. Count me in. And I was able to appreciate a lot. Especially, like, I was talking to you about this a few weeks ago. I was looking back at the MW2 and 3 camo grinds. I have both masteries. I have Orion and Interstellar. And I'm like, wait, there's like 4 camo categories. You don't need 1,000 headshots. Like, that's how easy the camos were in this game? Like, what? I was actually shocked to look back at the camo grinds in those games. And I'm like, dude, we need to go back to that.
For For which games?
MW2 and
MW2?
3. I'm like, dude,
I
I'm looking
mean,
back at that. I'm like, how?
don't get me
Like,
started on this.
I'm
Don't
like,
get me
holy
started on
shit.
this. Oh my
I was
god.
shocked
I
by
tell you
that,
what.
dude.
I tell you what. That MW2 and MW3 have the best. I have the best like camo progression, and you can say long shots, long shots. To be honest, I do 25 long shots. I'd happily do that over 100 headshots or 80 headshots per weapon.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
I'd happily do that over headshots. Especially with the movement being cranked up. 100%. And given the lower weapon levels, cross attachments. But now you have separate weapon levels, headshots for every single weapon. Um, I don't know. MW2 and MW3, I got the NP mastery camos for those games, and I did not do it for BO6 or BO7. So, I'm not even like a crazy like NP player. I'm good at it, but I'm not. Oh, I'm hopping on COD to play MP. And that was one of those things where it was just so easy to get into that I did them because you kind of just
Yeah.
fall into it. It's like have max attachments or use a silencer. That was amazing, and hopefully IW please goes back to that, at least to the MW3 system. Um, Maybe remove the weapon level requirements, but given that there's 60 per, I'm very curious to see, or 60 weapon levels per, I'm very curious to see what that is even going to look like.
I'm sorry. I refuse to believe they're like, you got to max out the weapon to get all the camos. Refuse to. Like, it's already one thing to be like, Apex attachments are inaccessible if you don't max the weapon out. That's already an issue if the leveling is slow. Oh, if you can't get gold or diamond or whatever until you max the weapon out, like, oh, dude, that's gonna be there's no way. There's just no way. I won't even entertain that. But thank you so much, SKNL. Absolute legend for the super chats. Appreciate you. Big giveaways coming up this week. We also just submitted a little document. We're trying to get a good endgame WTF tournament going, presented by Detonated. That should be happening this summer if the rule set we suggested gets approved. That'll be fun. Good way to run out the summer.
Hopefully that works out. That'll be a very cool stream. Some guys are saying in chat they want me to stream. I'll definitely be streaming for that one. But and just some messages here. Bro said MW2 had an easy camo grind, 1100 headshots. I mean, that like headshots aren't hard. I don't know. Or sorry, long shots aren't hard. That's what I meant to say. 1100 long shots. Long shots aren't hard to do. So
I think there were more maps you can cheese long shots as long as you're playing hardcore versus the amount of maps that were viable for headshots. Like Black Ops 6 and 7, it's like Stakeout and Paranoia for me. That's it. But like other face-off maps, okay. But
movement systems, there's only movement in BO6 and BO7. It is like
tough to aim at the head sometimes.
It's so impossible. Yeah.
Demon sweats. Yeah. Fucking everything up.
I mean, I remember, I just sat in hardcore and it was blessed. I would play hardcore TDM and I would just kind of chill back and not rush in. It was easy.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, we got the new Damascus. I haven't gotten it yet, but they've done a Black Ops Damascus week. What is it? Week 7 weekly challenge reward. So that's something that's out now. And if you follow me on Twitter, chat, I did post. I got Nexus Horizon finally. I completely dragged on that. I probably could have finished it months ago, but I'm like, what was the rush anyway? Kept us busy on stream and good vibes all the way around going for that one. But ended up getting Nexus Horizon. And I do get it. Some people are like, oh, it's a little blurry. It's not really a great Ultra Mastery, but it's something. I could equip it on all future DLC weapons. It's a cool accomplishment. Very curious, what's going to happen with Modern Warfare 4 progression. That's usually not something we hear about until like after the full reveal. After I think is it even after a beta when they talk about progression, or is it before? Might be before when they talk about camos and prestige and all that. I'm trying to think back to previous CODs. I think it's a little while before you hear about that kind of stuff, but that should be happening soon for MW4. I think I saw today T-Dog, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, T-Dog had gotten some hint from the devs about a big camel grind from MW4 this year, so whether there's an Ultra Mastery or not, I think at the minimum you get multiplayer DMZ, probably Warzone. I think Campaign's getting one, so that's also pretty cool. Lot to look forward to on that front, for sure. But yeah, I think it's, long shots can get frustrating too. But I think at least there's a lot more choices. I think of maps where you can do that. Whereas headshots, especially with fast movement, I think it gets mind numbing very, very quickly.
I was just a fan of the long shots because you weren't really constricted to like I have to hit the person at a certain area. I can just shoot them.
Yeah.
So
no, you're definitely right. That's
even then, I believe there was some headshot challenges for.
But it was like what 20. It was something so small. Yeah.
Or maybe not even that.
I think there were some for certain classes. I think. Yeah.
Right on. I didn't really dislike those long shots. It was chill. I just got to lay back and I just got to chill and just got some long shots.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, leave all your comments, questions, concerns in chat. Any last minute things you want us to address real quick? DTD doing a tournament. Yeah, no, we were really ecstatic about the other endgame. There was 2 of them, right? Or was there one? I think it was just one. Endgame tournaments. I can't remember.
Only one. Yeah.
There was only one so far, but we're looking to host another, and especially now that content's kind of wrapping up for that mode. Do another one of those. That'll be a fun stream. So we'll work on that at some point. Hopefully this summer if they approve that. I find the MW2 sniper get 25 hip fire kills for gold funny. Was that I don't remember that challenge. Hip fires. I mean, that's not bad on shipment, right? Just walk up and again, you're gonna have that. Like shoot the ship will probably be in this game. Both maps are literally in kill block, so you'll see those added to regular 6v6. But the good thing is, as we talked about the studio, Infinity already has shoot the ship replacements like that are going to be great for camel grinding. One of them is called Transit 213, a small little like shipment size map. Like that's perfect. I mean, if you need hip fires or whatever. And yeah, that was Bombshell 191. Lots of craziness going on around the Call of Duty scene. Again, kind of jumping between, Black Ops 7, MW4, and the Black Ops ports. Love to stay busy. Definitely a lot happening. Cannot complain on that front. Rather stay busy than not. I'd rather it be like this than, last summer where we're like, wow, like, what is happening here? Black Ops 6 wasn't getting much. 7 wasn't getting marketed until like August. Like it was a wild summer, man. But yeah, I will be live in the office tomorrow. We're going to look at whatever special celebrity event there is from MW4. Indy from Obsession will be there. Kevin Durant, other celebrities. I know other streamers will be playing Kill Block. There'll probably be some celebrity 1v1. So we'll stream and just hang out, grab some popcorn, just come chill. But really wanted to get a podcast done today, kind of recapping the last 2 weeks of Call of Duty craziness. Of course, we'll work on getting more guests. And I'll end the poll that we had as well. See if we missed anything else here. And the poll that we had. Yeah, it looks like people are loving the MW4 gameplay. So I'm sure if you tune into the stream this long, you probably do like the gameplay. You're probably not hate watching too much there. Yeah, we'll get some more comments for next episode. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to gather any psycho comments. But I'm sure there's a good amount kind of sitting in the background. So we'll go do some goofy comments next week or whenever we podcast next. Yeah. Let's see. What did L9? Oh, did you already get some sleep? Yeah. Streams are draining, man. Streams are draining.
Yeah, just a lot of talking just tires me out. That's why like when I batch record for like endgame or whatever, I usually record like 2 or 3. Sometimes I think at one time I did 5 videos in a row. Just back to back.
Oh yeah.
After that, I just sit like mute and just staring at a wall for like
no more.
For like 30, 45 minutes, just a whatever.
Oh god, yeah, no, I get it, man. Like that'll do it. I think I've been conditioned, to crazy days where it's like, yeah, we're gonna do a little 5-6 hour stream, work on 2-3 videos. You just gotta pop the monster, man. Get the monster out, and everything will be good from there. But yeah, I know you got some videos on deck. We'll see what season 5 brings. Hopefully you're able to play the port soon if your PSN account gets fixed, and then obviously there'll be MW4. There'll be some sporadic MW4 marketing probably spread out these next few weeks as well. They'll hopefully announce beta rewards, maybe campaign gameplay walkthrough of one of the missions. And then if they're doing a COD next, we'll be here. We'll cross our fingers something cool happens on that front. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. with that being said, Bombshell's brought to you guys by detonated.com. There'll be other coverage going up on the website as well, and we will catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.